Hey, what is up everyone? Hope you're all having a wonderful time. In this video we are going to take a look on different armors and weapons that are great for PvP, and all of these items can be obtained on the open world within New World. So you could go and start to farm them right away. And this video is going to be quite long, so feel free to use the timestamps to move back and forth, and I will also be linking all the items in the description if you would like to check them out for yourself. Before we start, just a quick reminder to like the video and also subscribe to the channel to show your support. And with that said, let's jump into it. So let's start by going over all the different armor pieces, and the first one we have is called Royal Lagoon Chest Warp. And this item is dropped by Lord Sobek just south of Brimstone City. And this chest is a medium armor type and it got everything you would want pretty much on a armor piece. We have Resilient, we have Vigor, and also Physical Aberration. And this boss can also drop Crown of Sobek and Sobek's Mighty Swipe. The next item is called King of the Jungle and is dropped by King Juranga, which is located just north of Brimstone City. And this helm got Resilience and Refreshing, which are great. And lastly, not so great, we have Beast Ward, but it's still an okay helm if it's the first one. Moving on to a helm called Cleric's Cowl, and this is dropped by Luxendra the Wise, and you will find this boss to the west of Brimstone City, and this is a light base with Resilient, Physical Aberration, and also Refreshing Evasion. Very nice overall. And this boss can also drop the ring Heart of Luxendra. Another helm that we have is called Protective Cowl, and this is a light base with the perk Resilient, Elemental Liberation, and lastly Invigorated. However, this item is a random chest drop within Brimstone, so take an extra look after you've done your elite chest runs. And moving on to gloves, and the first one we have is called Bouldering Gloves, and this can be dropped by Stubbles the Goat-King at Place of Pillars just northwest in Brimstone. And he's on the second floor, and if it is your first time here, you will have to do a jumping minigame to be able to get to the second floor where the boss is. These gloves got Resilient, Refreshing, and also the Empowering Breaker perk. And we also have a helm called Castrum Crown of the Goat-King and also a shield called Headbutt. We have two additional gloves that we are able to get. And the first one is called Shadow Hands and the other one is called Anubian Hand Coverings. And these both have great perks for any PvPer, but they are sadly a random drop from chests within Brimstone. So make a pray and do a double check when you are running your chests. Next is going to be the legs, and here we got Hellish Leggings. And these can be dropped by Aqualifer Scala, who is standing in Castrum in Varios. And for some reason you can also get them from two level 26 NPC called Turin and Artisan, standing in Dust Meadow in Everfall. And these have Resilient, Shaking Fortification, and lastly the Vigor perk. And the boss also have Void Gauntlet called Tortious in Varios. The next legs is called Regular Pants and can be dropped by Heka of the Crossroad. And this boss have two different spawn locations. The first one to the west of Brimstone City. He'll spawn here during the daytime. But at night you can find him just north up at Heka's Cauldron instead. The legs are light base with the perk Resilient, Striking Fortification, and lastly Refreshing. And you can also get a pretty nice ring here called Heart of Heka with Refreshing, Slash Damage, and Leashing. The last legs are called Lithe Leggings, and these are a medium base with the perk Resilient, Physical Aberration, and Invigorated. And these are also random chest drop within Brimstone. For boots we got one pair and they are called the Heavy Burden. And these are dropped by Khelone Khelydorea or something like that, just south of Brimstone City. And these boots are very nice for PvP with the perk Resilient, Refreshing Ward, and also Invigorated. And you can also have a chance of getting Jupiter's Judgment from this boss as well. And next up is amulets, and here we have Protector's Fortune Charm, and this can be obtained by Tazorjaw, who is located to the west of Everfall. And this amulet got Refreshing, Divine, and lastly Purify, which can be very helpful in PvP scenarios. The boss can also drop 2 weapons, Heal Strike and also Antique Battle Axe. We also have Trapper's Amulet, and this is dropped by Breaker of Arta, who is standing just before you enter Castrum Pontem. This amulet got the perk Alacrity, Stamina Recovery, and Adored Skinning Luck. Sure, the last perk is not that useful in PvP, but other ones can be very good to have. And this boss also have a Warhammer called Breaker of Arta. And last we have Pack Leader's Charm, with 2 good perks to be true. And this can drop from Rumble and also Elias Wolf. Sadly, we don't have any information about the location of these 2, so I take the question to you folks. Have you seen them anywhere in New World? Comment down below. For Earring we have Reflected Mayhem, and this is dropped by Entropy standing in Malevolence in Eden Grove. And this amulet got the perks Refreshing Toast, Purifying Toast, and lastly Refreshing. You also have a ton of different weapons that you can get, but one of them are standing out, and it's a spear called Corrupted Rebirth, with both Refreshing Ward and also Enfeebling Skewer, which can be very nice to have, and for the rest of the item I will put a link in the description. Another one is the Beast in the Bullish Trinker, and this drops from Discipline of Disorder, standing inside of Murkard in Shadow Mountain. And this amulet got Refreshing Toast, Regenerating, and also Refreshing. And same here as before, a lot of other items that can be dropped from this boss as well. Link will be in the description. The last earring that I have for you is called Invoker by her 2 lands, and this is dropped by High Priest of the Twin Doors. And this boss can be located at the Great Wall of Nebet Het, or just usually called the Wall. And this item got Refreshing Toast, Refreshing, and also Regenerating. And he can also drop a ring called Profaring Passage. And moving on to rings, here we have one called Thrifter's Lost Diamond, and this can be dropped by Malevolence standing in Genesis of Malevolence in Eden Grove. A very awesome ring to have with the perk Hearty, Leeching, and also Refreshing Ward. And the boss also got a ton of items that you can drop, so link to that in the description. Another ring you could use is going to be Band of Demon Dusk, and this is dropped by the Blight Bringer. And he's standing at Lambret Muskeg in Reekwater. And this ring is preventing the perk Hearty, Refreshing, and also Keen Awareness. And you will also have a chance for Transference, which is a very nice greatsword with the perks Slowing Rapture, Refreshing Ward, and Twaiting Strikes. Alright, let's move on to some more weapons. And here we have just so many to choose from, and all can be good depending on your build and whatever you're going for. For example 1v1 or arenas or even ORPs and wars. So here I've been taking some that I think stands out, and if you got any other recommendations feel free to comment so more people can take part of them. Alright, so we already have been looking on 2 weapons. We have the Corrupted Rebirth and also Transference. Both works great for PvP. And let's take a look on a couple more. For the Sword and Shield we have Deeproot, that can be dropped by Virdulion the Rootbound. And he's standing at the end of the Eternal Pool in Reekwater. This sword got Enhanced, Refreshing Move, and also Lifestealing. Another one is called Infernus, and it got the same perks at Deeproot, but with some other stats instead. And this sword can drop by Disciple of Disorder in Murkguard. To this, obviously, we want to have a shield, so here we have Complusion and also Everlasting Shade. And both of the shield have multiple drop sources, but they do have one boss that can drop both of these shields, and he's called Caminus Gatelord. And he is located between the lower and upper Svikin between Great Cleave and Shattered Mountain, and these two have both very different playstyles, so that's why they are both very good in my opinion. One more for mobility playstyle and the other one for damage absorption and leeching. Another weapon I want to talk about is Floodwater's Gift, and this can be dropped by killing Guardian of Nourishment, and he's located at Aqua Anuket, just north in Brimstone. And this hatchet got Keenly Empowered, Lifestealing, and Keen. We also have Ceremonial Reaper, which is a great axe dropped by Ritualist Varios, who is standing in Lower Sviken in Great Cleave. And this item have Lifestealing, Instability Gravity Well, and lastly Chain Void. We have another great sword called Bloodsucker's Sword, and this can be looted by killing Redclaw, who is just next to Crimson Shallow in Ebonscale Reach. And this great sword have Leeching Crosscut, Enchanted, and lastly Lifestealing. And next we have Razorfang, and this can be dropped by 3 different enemies. One being Warcaller Tactician, another one Arcos Imperator, and lastly Murkguard Commander. And this can all be found inside of Murkguard, and this rapier got Lifestealing, Surrendering Rickpost, and also Keenly Fortified. The next weapon is Crestborn, and this can be dropped by the Siren Dog, and he's located at the end of Siren's Stand in Reekwater. The bow have Keen Speed, Enchanted, and also Refreshing Evasion. We also have a musket called Overseer Regrets, and this is dropped by Overseer Levy standing in Upper Svikins at Shattered Mountain. And this weapon have the perks Lifesteal, Vicious, and Vorpal. And the next weapon is going to be Whirlpool, and this can be dropped by Siren's Gun, standing in Siren's Stand in Reekwater. And this is a blunderbuss with the perks Crippling Blast Shot, Striking Abyss, and Keen Speed. For the next item, it's called Rotten Limb, and this is dropped by Putris, who is standing in Mosswater Burg, just west of the city in Reekwater. And these Void Gauntlets got Purifying Scream, Keenly Jagged, and also Chain Void. Moving on to Warhammer, called Terran's Crash, and this dropped by Siren's Brute, and he's located in Siren's Stand in Reekwater. And this item got the perks Sundering Shockwave, Refreshing Ward, and Mortal Lifesteal. And the last item that I got for you is called Psychopom's Mat, I think you pronounce it. And it's dropped by Sabnekh, who is located at Oasis Spontanea, just northeast of Brimstone City. And these ice gauntlets have the perks Healing Tomb, Transient Recovery, and lastly Keen. Alright everyone, so this has been a very long video and covering tons of great items that you can use for PvP in New World. Fun fact, while making this video, it took me 78 tries before I finally got the Bloodsucker Sword from Redclaw. What's the longest you've been farming an item for? Comment down below. Don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel to show your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!